One of the brilliant things Mikki did was how you came about crafting Will and Stella.
Oh yeah,
who they were, because that was that was one of the it's something I always love hearing, because it was sort of a stroke of genius how those two characters came about, and it had to do with Claire Wineland, the CF vlogger that we met.
We knew the sketches of what we wanted to do with the characters, but they need, like Michelle said, they need nuance, they need layers. All those things need to be stitched into who they are before we meet them, right? So that we're coming into a story that is not once upon a, and in the beginning there what, we want to slide right into who these people are. So we met with Claire a couple of times, and she was so amazingly whole as a person. And when I sat down to figure out like who they were going to be and how they would approach the world and themselves in the world, I couldn't stop thinking about Claire and how somehow at 23, 24 years old, she was so perfectly fulfilled and whole in a way that, at twice her age, I'm not still. And she found this, I think I said this at the Women in Film thing, you guys, that she found a way to live so much life in such a short time. I was astounded by that. And what she was, the way that I constructed Will and Stella was, I thought, I don't know that I've often met such a perfectly whole person. So if I took her and I put her down, she's Will and she's Stella. So she was rebellious and she didn't want to do her treatments, and she wanted to live just to live, and she wanted to be free, but then she was perfectly regimented and she was perfectly structured and controlling, and she did her things. And the line, this is again from the Women in Film thing, when she told Haley had met with her, and she said, I'm tired of doing my treatments. I'm tired of living to do my treatments. I want to do my treatments so I can live.
Yeah.
Haley came back and said, she said this, and we were like, oh yeah, that's going in the book. The best line of the movie, and it came right out of Claire's mouth, because it's true and it hits true. And that's kind of how I built Will and Stella. And the reason they're so perfectly complementary is because they're both pieces of one whole person that we have the pleasure and the blessing of getting to know just a little bit, So that's it. So if you put those two characters together, it's her.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I could totally see that. And she says that line, living for my treatments instead of doing my treatments so I can live. And then she repeats back Will's line to her when they first met. Kind of that whole circle.
Yes, it'll be ever. I love to do that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is to wrap up a little bow. I love laying down all little pebbles and then picking them up on the way through. It's one of the reasons that I so love a second act. I know most writers, and they hate a second act, and it's my favorite because yes, and it's so weird because if you're doing your job right, you start at the very beginning building, right? And you're building and you're building and you're building, and it's like dominoes, and you're setting these dominoes. And through the second act, you've got the third act coming at you from the future, and you've got the past coming. To me, the second act is kind of the present part of the script. So you're building these dominoes, and now you're at this point where everything has to be this perfect set up moment. So when you, from the third act, and you know that you're going here, and you tap that first domino, it's got a brrr. So our third acts generally end up with just, it's all of the climax action and everything's being wrapped up. So we don't really slow down in the second act. We speed up, and that's kind of where, like first act break, we hit the gas and we kind of don't stop until we crash our car off the end, and that's the end of the movie. So I I love a second act because I think it's intimidating to some writers, and I think it should not be, because I just think punch it, go.
Yeah.
Don't slow down,